So now that we've discussed the difference between learning songs and practicing technique, I do want to reiterate that practicing technique is really important. So I want to introduce the concept of shedding. Shedding is something that musicians do when they need to work on something. So I get to a spot in a song that's really hard and I need to work on it, and I say, I need to shed that before I can come back and play it. Okay, so we might be in the middle of a rehearsal and somebody might say, hey, can you play the solo on that? And I would say, I probably need to go home and shed for a bit before I'll be able to play that. Okay, shedding is when I go out to the shed to work on something for a few hours and then I come back able to play it because I spent specific time working on that one thing. So once you've identified a technique that you need to work on, a weakness that you have in a song, you need to go shed it. How do you shed? Well, shedding is a lot like working out. There's a lot of muscular endurance. There might be some strength involved. You might actually need to physically work out your hand, either to develop dexterity or strength to accomplish a specific goal. So if you're working on bar chords, shedding might involve working on the shape of those bar chords, which means you just sit there and you work on those bar chord shapes. But it might involve working out your hand, literally sitting there, squeezing as if you're playing a bar chord. Work on the amount of pressure that you need in order to accomplish that chord. Because at first it feels like you need a lot of strength to hold that chord, but after a while you realize the pressure that you need to hold down those strings is actually very minimal. So it's more about the accuracy of the pressure and the endurance of your muscles than it is about the strength of your muscles. Okay, same thing with practicing scales. Shedding could look like doing this. With a metronome for an hour. And I'm not kidding. Shedding often takes a lot of time. And what it does is it develops consistency, it develops strength, it develops endurance. Sometimes if you want to play something really fast, the best thing is to put on a metronome, click, 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 and say I need to go click, 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 click to the speed of that metronome, and say I can't get up to that speed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in short spurts, like I'm sprinting, like I'm running intervals, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, rest for a second. 2, 3, 4. 2, 1, 2. Maybe I don't have the endurance to do the whole run, but I'm going to do part of it, and I'm going to do sprints so that I can learn to maintain that tempo. So we're developing endurance, accuracy, and strength.